I was a gamer and now I'm a swordsman. But before that, I was a real gamer. I wasn't playing just casually. I mean, the kind of where I sit down to play my games at 6 p.m. and then I look up, it's already 2 a.m. and I haven't eaten anything. I played my favorite games such as Team Fortress 2, For Honor, Assassin's Creed Unity, Kingdom Deliverance, and I've spent hundreds, maybe even thousands hours probably on these games. And of course, the whole time I told myself that it was fine. It was fine in moderation. It was okay to do it because it's just a hobby, right? Because everyone does it, right? Well, it wasn't fine. I wasn't getting anywhere with my studies. I wasn't feeling fulfilled by doing that. I felt like a low status man. And without sugarcoating, I was. And gaming was one place where I felt that I was winning at least something. Of course, even if none of it was real. But before I go forward, hi, I'm Michael Kozin, and I've been training longsword for over 2.5 years already in historical European martial arts, which means that I've been sparring and actually competing in tournaments to get to this level. This video isn't really about sword fighting. It's more about what happens when I stop chasing the dream life that I want. What happens when I stop escaping my own growth, which is hard, right? To actually build my life that I want to live. I also have a free community called START SWORDFIGHTING, the link in the description. If you join it right now, I will personally reach out to you to help with longsword, alright? So continuing on with my story, let's start with my gaming years. I never had a fully stationary PC to play my games on. I just got a mid laptop for my birthday in my early teens. And unfortunately, that was enough. That was more than enough to disappear into it. So my first gaming obsession that I had was Team Fortress 2, which is a PvP game where you just shoot people to death. Class-based shooter, basically. A hero-based shooter, right? Which had competitive aspect, social, endless replayability, and I was hooked. Even for a season or two, I played it competitively in Highlander tournament, if you could even call it like that. Played scrims also as a pyroman, if you know what I mean. And then in 2016, For Honor was entirely for free to grab for lifetime on Steam. And this one never truly left my head. Of course, For Honor was entirely different. It had knights, it had samurai, it had vikings, it had real weapon archetypes, and it had real like PvP, competitive kind of background behind it. Of course, it tapped into something more deeper in my psyche than just a game, right? For Honor is a very fantastic game for changing cosmetics for your characters, for your heroes. So basically, fashion, right? I love that for playing, you get better fashion. And of course, after getting tilted at For Honor, I tried to play single-player games, such as Assassin's Creed Unity and Kingdom Come Deliverance, the first one. And these two games also had the same pattern of having a medieval history, of having like historical warfare, knights, swords, like real warriors, real weapons, basically. My interest in these things was genuine. It still is, right? But the way that I've been feeding it wasn't, right? Through the actual game, through just spending time in these fucking games. And the worst thing was that I had every excuse ready, such as, it's just a hobby. It's fine in moderation. Gaming is fine in moderation. Fuck, I hate this word. Or I deserve to relax after a long day of work. So, moderation, the M word. I fucking hate this word. So, moderation is every addict's favorite word to use, to just throw around. I wasn't gaming in moderation. I was telling myself that it was fine in moderation, but it wasn't moderate at all. So I was gaming instead of living my life. And of course, there's a clear difference between the first thing and the second thing. And I knew it, and I knew it myself, but I still used the M word, the moderation word, or the sentence that you clearly know yourself. I'll just finish this match first. Famous last words of a real gamer. So one match becomes 5 matches. 5 matches becomes 10 matches. And 10 matches turns into a full fucking session of 6 hours in front of the screen. And the next day, I'd wake up, feel vaguely empty, sort of, and then I repeat the whole sequence, the whole process. And one of the things that I also want to point out is that I deserve to relax. I told myself I deserve to relax also. From what exactly? From not working to achieve my goals? What, from school, from studies that I've been kinda doing, kinda not? What exactly? Like really? And also, like the most important thing out of it all, gaming isn't relaxation. It's not a real fucking relaxation, if you know what I mean. You either relax by taking a nap or actually sleeping, right? You play the video games where you have to activate your brain, your dopamine, and then you get fried it up after the whole session. You have to be active with your brain while playing to achieve something in the level, right? Because usually it's hard to do, right? Without focusing on the game, right? And the main psyche is even more vulnerable for that, because we are more keen to focus on just one thing at a time and do it with 100% focus, comparing to women. Like, I know it's kind of like an old statement, but from my experience at least, right? I can't do different things all at once. Like, the best way that I work or do something is if I can put my 100% into that thing to completely finish it and then get to the next task without changing tasks, basically. So gaming, that's not relaxation. That's running away from real relaxation and hiding from your potential. Because without real relaxation, you cannot pursue your real goals. Your nervous system will burn out, and that's okay. Because after the work, it's just like it should, right? That's why we relax in the first place. By not gaming and also going to the gym isn't also relaxation, right? It's like you have to put all of your focus with your mind and with your body into pushing to build your body up, right? Build your physique up. That's the same thing. So actually, it's a good comparison. Yeah, relaxation isn't gaming, and relaxation isn't also going to the gym, right? Like going to the gym and gaming, like it's not relaxing at all. What gaming actually was doing for me. So of course, gaming gave me a short burst of dopamine, and that's it. That's the whole thing that I've got from it. Like the whole transaction out of it all. And every session of gaming, of playing my favorite knight, samurai or something, or Henry of Skalitz, it felt satisfying only in the moment. And after, when I closed the application, I felt entirely empty, also fried up my brain at the same time. It left absolutely nothing behind. And if something left, it's usually feeling sad, feeling empty after spending 3 hours out of your life that you could use to improve your life in something specific. No, you had to pursue playing the video games, all right? And I'm speaking from my own experience. Of course, I'm giving you my own example of what it was, right? But I clearly know that some of you guys are living the same life that I did without any progress that actually stuck. Gaming doesn't give you like progress that leaks into the other parts of your life. There was no skill that transferred into my other parts of my life. No version of me that actually got better at living, at getting better at a sword, or I don't know, cooking maybe even, or painting minis, I don't know, or building my physique up. And also, meanwhile, my studies were going nowhere. I was kinda doing them to not fail at my university, but I still felt that it wasn't the direction that I want to go, like that I want to pursue. So instead of that, I've built my identity inside of the video games, like not outside in my life, not outside of the fucking screen with pixels. So gaming was a clear coping mechanism. Like it was a way to avoid facing the real work that I had to do, to work on myself, to get better at certain things, to better myself up, to live the life that I want. Actually doing the real work of breaking out of being low status and low income. And here's the brutal math that you could understand. Every hour that I've spent gaming was lost instead of doing or spending 1 hour on improving myself up. I didn't spend this 1 hour, or it was usually more, on actually becoming better human being. And that's not an opinion. That's just a statement, just a fact. That's just what was happening in my life. But gaming takes skill. And yes, gaming takes skill. I'm not arguing against it. For Honor, for example, has a real skill ceiling. And TF2 also has a real skill ceiling that you can grind, you can like get better at. But that skill still only exists inside of this application, inside of this video game that you're playing on your computer. Gaming doesn't build your body. Gaming doesn't build your confidence. It doesn't build your bank account or your social skills, or it doesn't build your social status outside of the scoreboards inside of the fucking video game, or it doesn't build your true sense of your own self outside of the fucking pixels in the real world. The skill that you build, it just sits there in the server on the computer screen with pixels, completely useless the moment that you close the application off. And the next thing that I want to call out is, but gaming is social, and gaming is kinda social. Sure. I had online friends on Discord, right? People that I'd queue with to talk to joke around, to goof around in video games, and somewhat like feel like I'm in some kind of tribe, in some kind of like group of people that understand me. But I never met single one of them in real life that was on the same level as me, that had the same pursuit of passion, the fire inside of me. The moment that I saw them even, I knew right away that I wasn't like them. I had more passion in my life. I had a bigger standard of how my life should look like the things that I want to pursue to make my life better, to reach some kind of specific point. And of course, when I actually met them, I never trained with them sword fighting. I never went with them to the gym. I never competed alongside them in something real. And that's not brotherhood. That's not a real brotherhood. All of them were just a simple chat window to talk to when I was just a low status man back in the day. So the most important thing that I want you to understand, that I want to upload into your mind, is that the progress in gaming resets, or specifically, it doesn't leak into your real life in a good way. What I mean, every season or every patch or every hot fix in a game makes you reset your skill, let's say. Like, not really resets your skill, but you know what I mean. You are kind of like glued to the game, to the reality of the game, instead of your own real life outside of a screen. The experience in a real life compounds. All of the good things that you're doing for your own self, they compound over time, like they creep up on you without you even seeing it at the beginning. And then you look behind you and you see how much have you achieved already. And it makes you even more hyped to go even further than you are right now. Every session of real sword fighting training compounded into my skill that I have right now with a sword that I can use everywhere. Of course, maybe not perfectly, not always, but still it's in my muscle memory because I've trained it enough. It leaves something good in my body, in my mind, in my nervous system. It builds my timing, my confidence with a sword, and even outside of sword fighting. Permanently, it leaves a mark, a good mark. So the next point is my self-improvement pipeline. Of course, I started watching self-improvement content on YouTube, and my beliefs started to change. Like, it was a slow warp from feeling like a lost boy into finding myself out for real, like finding what I really like and challenging myself to do it. So I started to reframe how I see myself, and that actually working on yourself is the right way to do it. Like, challenging yourself by doing the hard things at a time, then after some time, by progressively overloading it, you look back and all of these things at the beginning right now are easy for you to do. And at the beginning, slowly, the beliefs that I had started to shift from this is how things are for me to this doesn't have to be my life. And the key realization that changed everything for me was stop trying to become someone for someone else's happiness. Start building something for yourself, for myself. And of course, once that shift happened, the question appeared in the back of my mind. What do I actually want? So what do I actually want to do? How do I want my life to look like? what do I want to know? What do I want to do in my time, in my future? What do I want to become? How strong I want to be? How polite I want to be? How fearful I want to be? So the answer wasn't complicated at all for me. Like, it was always there. It was just buried under the gaming sessions and coping mechanism that I had. So all of these knights, samurai, these medieval warriors, they were always in the back of my mind. Like medieval history, real combat, real warriors. I just had to find a real thing for that specific outlet, because the drive was always inside of me. I just built my excuses into such a fortress that I couldn't find a gap to break it all. The moment that I discovered HEMA, I could have gone to the regular gym, or I could have taken up boxing or BJJ. But HEMA was different, right? I was always drawn to swords, and specifically to sword fighting, because swords are just a tool. They are just an extension of you as a fighter. So a better sword doesn't mean that you will be better at sword fighting. So like, if you have better skill, even if it's like a bad sword, you can still use it effectively if you know how to adjust to it. HEMA was different in such a way that it was masculine. So it was challenging me. It was always friendly. So everyone inside of the HEMA respects each other. Even if we maybe slightly don't like each other, we still respect each other. We don't try to kill each other or actually wound someone for real. It was of course challenging, and it directly connected to the thing that was always driving me to actually pick up a sword. So it was the same drive that was pulling me into gaming first, instead of actually picking up a real thing. So all of the warrior archetypes from For Honors, I know, Warden, Conqueror, Orochi, Kensei, Vikings, for example, so like Raider, Warlord, and so much more. HEMA was just the real thing of all of it. The For Honor specifically, and the other games, gave me just a simulation of what it's like. Just a slight, like, small, like, view of that simulation. What it feels like to be, let's say, a knight. HEMA. So the actual historical European martial arts, so specifically historical fencing, gave me the real thing, the whole package. And unlike gaming, the progress with sword didn't disappear the moment that I left the training hall. Every session in sword fighting left something behind. In my body, in my timing, in my confidence, in my edge alignment, in my footwork also, right? In the way that I carry myself also, and specifically my sense of my own self. The dopamine that I had from it was actually real. Like the way that we're supposed to use our dopamine. And unlike gaming dopamine, it built on itself. So of course, gaming made me feel like a warrior for an evening. And HEMA actually is making me one. Like not even HEMA, I make a warrior out of myself. Of course, not the kind that just slaughters people left and right, but a true warrior, right? Of course, slowly, permanently, and for real. The next point is that For Honor is still in the back of my mind, and that's the whole point. So something I want to be honest about, right, is that For Honor is still in my thoughts. I still think about For Honor from time to time. It never fully left my thoughts, and probably it never will. And that used to really bother me. It really used to bother me thinking about it. Like, I was always drawn back to gaming. I still am. That pull of playing as a knight, as a samurai, as a Viking, toward warrior culture as well. I thought that's not really an addiction to a game. It is an addiction, right? But specifically, that's an instinct, like a drive that was always there. That's just the game just happened to fit. And I don't want to play For Honor. Why? My brain still gives me automatic thoughts of, hey, bro, let's go back, let's download this video game, and let's spend 6 hours playing as a knight. And yes, it's still there in the back of my mind, but I don't want to do it because I know I will lose my precious time on this earth. I understand what the pull is now, and I just have to aim it into something real. So the exact same drive that made me fall in love with For Honor is the exact same drive that I use for actually training my sword fighting skills, to specifically show up in training, to fully commit to some kind of action to make it work, to compete in tournaments, to build my physique up, to also build this channel up and publish all of the videos that you already saw. And I mess up sometimes. I still do, because I'm a human being. I never said that I'm perfect, and I never will, and that's the point. Gaming sometimes creeps back into my life, and when it does, I treat it like meditation. I notice it, I don't spiral down, and I just refocus back into something real, into sword fighting. I channel back my drive into what matters. So the thing is that you don't destroy the drive to improve, to get better at something. You have to redirect it. You have to find you have to channel it into something better for your sake. That's the whole game. So for me, the goal was never to kill my warrior instinct. It was actually to channel it into longsword, because I like this weapon, instead of wasting it on something that gave me nothing back in return. What hema actually gives me, first things first, is real dopamine that makes me want to train it even more, even than before, because I already know the fundamentals, I already know how to use them, and also advanced techniques as well, right? Such as Sverhau or Shieldhau, and I already know how to use my footwork effectively, right? HEMA gives progress that actually sticks, like a progress that leaks into the other parts of your life. How you behave, how you carry yourself, what you want to achieve also. Because when I started HEMA, I didn't really thought about the gym. After 1 year of HEMA, I considered going to the gym, right? And I went to it because I knew clearly that if I became better, I would become stronger and I would become faster at sword fighting because of the right conditioning. HEMA gives also a community outside of the screens, a real community where you can just talk to the real human being, share your own experience and grow with each other inside of the sport. HEMA gives you an identity outside of fucking pixels on the screen. It makes you to consider your physical transformation for real, right? Because the sword, like I said, is just an extension of your own body, of your own self. And also, it gives you a goal that compounds over time. So every session with a sword makes you feel better, but it also sticks to your life. Every tournament, every workshop that you attend, it all compounds into one. And most importantly, I stopped feeling like a low status man because I started to pursue actually what I wanted, right? Not something that someone wanted me to do. Not because that someone told me that I was worth something. No, because I built something worth being. So overall, I'm not telling you this to brag about me quitting video games or making you feel worse. I mean, I somewhat want you to feel bad for still playing video games as an adult. I specifically telling you this because I know exactly what it feels like to be stuck. Like being a low status, going nowhere, having no money, having no drive, having no real goal to work on, and using gaming as the escape hatch from your real life. And I know that drive that makes someone fall in love with For Honor or with Elden Ring, for example, or with Dark Souls, or Kingdom Come, or any game with a warrior inside of it. The drive is real and it is worth more than just getting stuck in front of the screen. It's worth more than a leaderboard position inside of a fucking video game. Like inside of the virtual world that just resets the next season or the next patch. There are people in my community that found HEMA the same way that I did, being at a low status, trying to figure out what you really want to do. So through gaming, through the warrior archetypes, through actually finding your own self, through finally deciding to stop simulating a warrior and actually starting to be one, by actually doing the specific tasks to be one specifically, right? You don't become a warrior by just owning a sword. You become a warrior by training with a sword, by doing the technique right, and also facing another opponent in sparring, of course, right? We don't want to kill each other. That's why my group Start Swordfighting exists. That's why this channel exists in the first place, to save at least some poor souls that still want to spend their precious time in gaming by just spending it in games instead of improving your own self, even just a little bit each day, but consistently, to give that drive somewhere to go, to save at least a few people from the years that I've spent gaming and just losing my time, just like this. The years that I spent actually going nowhere. So go offline, find a HEMA club near you, go and train, text your friends, say to them that, hey, you can take 2 padded longswords and 2 fencing masks and actually go outside and spar with each other because it's cool, right? Go to the gym if you want to build your physique up also. Start to do all of it being offline, all right? Not after that video, not after you think about it, not after a week that turns into a month, which turns into fucking 6 months, then turns into 2 years. I know the guys privately that were like this. They were thinking about starting something that they clearly knew that they wanted to do already. You don't need to have it all figured out at the very beginning. You will figure it out on the way, just like I did. In the first session, they will tell you everything that you need to know at the beginning. And if you want a structured community and a free longsword course, then join my free school community called START SWORDFIGHTING, where I privately help people with their sword fighting techniques, with their sword fighting progress. If you join it right now, I will personally reach out to you. And we also have a community of guys which are on the same level as you, with whom you can actually relate to, all right? Maybe not to me, okay? Maybe not, because I'm probably a level further ahead of you. But I'm actually telling you, hey, do this, don't worry about this, avoid this. That's how you can actually progress even further, right? Having a mentor, having a coach, having someone to point out your mistakes, giving you feedback, getting you actually results by you actually working on it yourself. So listen, man, no more escaping. Just go and do. Become a warrior that you want to be, all right? And remember, always take the initiative.